Welcome back to Daily DeFi. Today is January 20th, 2021, Inauguration Day. Yesterday we saw President Trump actually peacefully sending a message for his final days and hours in office, and along with Ivanka doing the same. This is very interesting as far as the markets go because we will see volatility today as we see on all inauguration days, kind of depending on what happens for a successful Biden administration, kind of handing the power off from the Republican Trump administration to the Democratic Biden administration. Not a political channel. This is just the facts of what's happening. There's also, massive amounts of troops being put out in Washington, D.C., and it's a very, very interesting time for the United States and the Capitol. But almost more importantly, we're going to dive into what we're going to cover in today's Daily DeFi episode. So everything decentralized finance every day. I've been really enjoying this series. This is episode 3. So this one is a very, very interesting one. We're kind of going to be looking at Defi Pulse, taking a look at the longer time frame of the money in DeFi. We saw a while ago, just in early 2017, 2018, $5 in DeFi, and then you slowly see maybe $10, then a little thousand, and then you see a nice run up, and now we're in a parabolic move. I mean, it's absolutely insane. The billions locked in the decentralized finance space. Very, very interesting opportunities we have here. So we're covering everything along with that, plus Aave, the incredible decentralized lending platform that has it's like Aave tokens, so A tokens that are kind of this collateral use case token. It's very, very interesting. We'll be covering a lot with that, and Ethereum's all-time high. This should be very, very interesting. Ethereum blasted past that all-time high, and it's a bit different because on different exchanges it had different all-time highs. So it pushed past the all-time high. It's been wavering down, but the thing you have to keep in mind is this is healthy. This is good because when Bitcoin blew past its all-time high, that wasn't necessarily so healthy. I made a video earlier, and I think it was called Why Bitcoin's Price Correction is a Healthy. And when you have a bull run, you need to see forming levels of support. So we're seeing levels of support around this $13,000 or $1,300 range, rather $1,300 range, and we're forming nice support. And if we would have just blown past the all-time, we did push past the all-time high, dip back down, and now we were forming some support. If we would have just seen all-time high, then keep going, the last support would just be the all-time high. So this creates for a situation where we do have a little bit of resistance, but it's so light resistance. So we can really push past this. We could see it today after the inauguration day. We could see it tomorrow. We could see it in a week. We could see it in a month. But my personal thoughts are we will see it sooner rather than later. So let's just jump right into all of these 3 topics. Hope you have a very, very safe day. This is very, very key to keep in mind that be close, be friendly with everyone you're around. Do not let this kind of polarization between Trump, Biden, Democrat, Republican break up relationships. It's just sad to see in the world today. I'm currently in Kosovo, but I see people in America having this issue. So let's jump right in. Wow, we're just seeing this total value locked in DeFi increasing exponentially. Even if we go out to this all time frame, you can see it so much better. Sometimes I like to scale back. I mean, this is really what a parabola looks like. You want to talk about compound interest or exponential returns? That is what DeFi brings. So we're currently again at $25.15 billion locked in. That is insane USD. Maker dominance is 18.7%. Just look back at early 2017. Wow. So I was seeing one day it was $5. So look at that. August 18th, 2017, $5. Obviously, this is kind of before there were any protocols. But then, slowly, a couple early adopters, really, really early adopters, 1.5K, then the millions. Then kind of, people weren't quite sure. Started ramping up. And you can't even see this growth. It looks like a flat line here, but it's really exponential growth. And then we get into the parabola. So this is just insane. Just wanted to cover that, how interesting that is when you kind of zoom out. So what I wanted to focus on, as I said in the intro, is Aave, this very, very interesting lending platform that not a lot of people know a lot about. So what you can do to actually find this token and other DeFi tokens in DeFi Pulse is you actually go up here to the DeFi list. So we'll go ahead and click on this. And then all you have to do is it's the very, very top one. They have a nice ranking because it's AA. A always ranks at top. So Aave is very, very nice for that. So it's an open source, non-custodial protocol to earn interest on deposits and borrow assets. So just to break that down in kind of English, we'll let's go to their website, and we can show you a bit more how like these Aave tokens work, how the lending works in this giant liquidity protocol. I mean, check this out. It's about $3.5 billion just in Aave. I mean, this is one of the projects that is huge. I really think this project is interesting. I actually personally have not used this protocol, but I think it's huge. I think it's massive. I've used a lot of other things in the decentralized finance space, but Aave is something I'm a little bit new to, so we're going to kind of explore that today. So again, just so you understand kind of what this means. So Aave is open source. So that means just like most things in the crypto space and the decentralized finance space, it's decentralized, right? So there's not one person that's controlling it or one person that's like hiding what's going on. Everyone can see what's going on. That's the beauty of smart contracts. It's non-custodial liquidity protocol. So you basically provide liquidity and you get interest on that liquidity. And you can also borrow assets. So that's kind of the smart contract thing. If you go here to the Aave protocol, it takes you more in depth to like their GitHub. You can also enter their application related to DApp, decentralized application. But what we're going to check out and just kind of cover is these A tokens, which I think is very, very interesting. They also have things like flash loans. We can cover this maybe in depth in a dedicated video, but I wanted to talk about these A tokens, which I thought were so, so interesting. And then we'll move on to that nice Ethereum technical analysis. So what are A tokens? Aave interest-bearing tokens, A tokens for short, are minted upon deposit and burned when redeemed. So when you actually go to do the lending to get interest, what will happen is this Aave token will hit, and the A tokens are pegged one-to-one to the value of the underlying asset that is deposited in the Aave protocol. A tokens, such as ADAI, can be freely stored, transferred, and traded. While the underlying asset is loaned out to borrowers, A tokens accrue interest in real time, directly in your wallet. Seriously, you can watch your balance grow every minute. So I think this is fascinating, and I think this is just a really, really nice user interface they have here on the website. Aave is a very, very interesting protocol. I do really like their kind of like color scheme and just overall like I guess you could say aesthetic of this. I know it's more about the fundamentals, but I mean, hey, in the crypto space, sometimes we're a little ridiculous, and the aesthetic is very, very nice with Aave. So 1-to-1 ratio, you have redirect the interest, so the interest earned on A tokens can be redirected at any time to Ethereum public address. Stablecoins earn interest on stablecoins like ADAI, AUSD, and AUSDT, USD Tether. So this is very, very interesting. Again, this is the developer protocol. Highly recommend check out their white paper if you want to see more. And also this flash loans we can kind of talk about maybe in a dedicated video. But the Aave protocol, if you go to, that's kind of interesting because that's their GitHub. So also follow along with their socials over here if you want to become part of the community, learn more about them, and yeah. So let's dive into it. Ethereum. What to do about Ethereum? Well, if you already missed out on this giant pump, I personally think we're going to go a lot higher. But let's take a look at this from a technical analysis perspective. Also, congratulations to anyone who's been holding this for a long, long time. In this bear market, as you can see, might have been a bit hard to stay in. And this is even like after the bear market. This is a little bit of nice pumps in the 2020. I mean, it was kind of floating closer to here. We can even just go out further if we want to take a look at this. So we can go to the 1-day time frame here on TradingView to look out when it was. So I picked it up around 600. Let me see. Let me know in the comments if you picked it up in these levels. So 163. Wow. That was so cheap. Yeah, so I did kind of interact with a bit of Ethereum before this, but I didn't know a ton about it. I think educating yourself on a project like Ethereum is so important, especially if you got in the early days. This is a huge project. So you can see this line is basically marking that all-time high right here, right around that $1,400 mark. Again, this is a range. So with all of these lines, with my technical analysis, just keep in mind I do these lines to just for myself because I understand that these are really a range. So really what it looks like if you want to get into the details, it would be something a bit more like this. So, but I just kind of mentally note when I do technical analysis, that's basically what it is right there. So it's a range because on all exchanges, things are different. You have to keep that in mind. So Bitstamp has some of the longest price history, but on all exchanges, the prices are different every day. Things are changing, and with technical analysis, everything is really a range. It's never like an exact point. So that's why I kind of do lines, and then in my head I realized that these are just really boxes. So as you can see, we kind of hit this parabolic move right here. Let's see, when was that? Kind of like December 20th. Yeah, and then we had a little consolidation in January. Same with Bitcoin, but man, that thing ramped up. I was lucky to get in somewhat early. Actually, no, wait. I was in here around September 20th, so I think I may have gotten in like 400. But again, like trading with all these other DeFi coins, I'm more interested in a bit more low cap projects. I do hold Ethereum, but I'm a bit more interested in these other projects. Ethereum is incredible. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely the safest out of these, depending on your risk tolerance. But I'm very interested in DeFi, and Ethereum definitely leads the way in this space. But just from the market cap perspective, I think the other ones have a lot more room to grow. So let's go into the 1 hour time frame. Take a look at where this really shot off, because I was so interested when I saw this breakout of the symmetrical triangle. So it was forming kind of this symmetrical triangle with Bitcoin. They were both kind of in this, where it was like a large dip. You could also draw this as kind of like a bit of a rising wedge here, and it was able to break out right here. I mean, this was insane. This breakout was incredible. And the indicator I have on is the Bollinger Bands. We can also flip on the EMA ribbon and the volume, just to show a bit more in depth what exactly went on. So you see large volume spike here. You see this nice EMA ribbon that turned bullish. We've now been using it as support, you see. So it's just bouncing off this line, broke down. Didn't mean much because we met this this moving average right here, this orange line. Broke up. We've just been kind of using it as support, a little bit of breakdown, but now we're just really bouncing. It is currently going over the slump, but that doesn't really matter as much. It's just really understanding that these indicators are so important, because the price, as you see, is kind of using this as support. And these lines that I've drawn out here at the bottom basically just show key levels of support and resistance. So it's important when you're doing technical analysis to have this kind of like structure set up. I kind of explain it like a house. So like, if it's breaking through the first floor, okay, right here, well, this isn't really the first floor, but in this, what we're looking at here, let's call this the first floor. Okay, now, obviously, if you're in each of these hours or days in the 5 minute, it would be going crazy, but it looks like it just went up, really went up, broke back down, back in the first floor, now in the second floor, broke up a little bit to the third floor, and that's kind of how you want to look at it. Like, if you have to remember that previous resistance turns into support. So for example, here we broke past the resistance, broke back down. This turns into new support, boom, broke up. And again, these are ranges. You have to keep in mind these lines are ranges. So basically previous resistance turned into support and vice versa. So previous support turns into resistance. So if something was support here, you break down, now it's resistance. So that will do it all for this technical analysis video. I think it's very interesting, again, that Ethereum blew past its all-time high. I think as the Bitcoin dominance charts have gone down, this has really kind of given Ethereum room to grow. And I think it has much more room to grow. Now we don't really have any resistance. So, my honest predictions for the end of February would be somewhere in this range. Here, let me just draw this out real quick, just for fun with this brush. So I think we could do some retesting here. We could dip back down, but honestly, I think we're going to use this as new support, pop up somewhere in this range, and end up around the $2,000 mark. That's kind of my price target right there. You can use Fibonacci extensions. I won't bore you with that in this video, but if you want to see in-depth technical analysis, I can do a video on Ethereum. Just let me know in the comments, and we can draw out some fib ranges. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this episode of Daily DeFi, please let me know in the comments down below. Also, what do you think? I left 3 questions in the description, so check those out. Do you think this day is going to be smooth going with transfer of power in the US? What do you think of Aave? And then also, what coin would you like to see in tomorrow's video? So thanks again. If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, button all, hit the like button, subscribe button, click the bell button, click all, because this is time-sensitive content you don't want to miss out. And until next time, as always, invest global. Bye-bye.